from that low, the new day opening gap. I think we're going to expand higher than that. Bam. So far, I like how we failed to reach the bottom of that new week opening gap. I'm watching to see if that remains the same. This fair value gap here, watching to see if we leave that open. I want us to stay strong and not come back down and test that. If we do that, leave it open, start to move higher, that's something that I like to look for. Shoot. I forgot to enter my personal account. Nah, that's fine. I'll find another way to get in. So entering inside the high of the breaker, stop loss below the entire up close candle. Targeting old new day opening gap up here. I'm going to clear these lines off. Small little fair value gap in here. I'm watching to see how we trade. This fair value gap is in the lower half of the breaker. I want to see that stay open because it's below mean threshold. Okay, mean threshold of breakers, order blocks, you don't want to see that traded through. And this fair value gap is in the lower half of that breaker. So I'm watching this one here. And this will be my last attempt for the day. Two bullets in the chamber. That's all I got. Gotta keep risk at bay. Bro, this chart's so messy. It's stressing me out. I'll take off my risk if we can manage to take out this swing high. But until then, I'm not in a rush to move my stop. So we're now officially in that London close hour, 10:50 to 11:10. That's the London close macro. So now my mindset is who's been making money all morning, and I would like for us to seek buy side liquidity. Everybody's making money going short, trailing their stop losses down, trailing their stops. So I like the idea of us running against the buy stops above this high. And if we could get a strong close above this down close candle, I'll feel comfortable moving my stop to break even and treat that as a bullish order block and not expect that to be traded all the way through. So if we manage to get a strong close here. If not, then my stop stays where it's at. So I like that. Stop, move to break even just below the bullish order block. Preferably best case scenario, I don't even want to see that traded to. I want to see us start to spool towards the buy side. But if we wick down into it, that's not a problem. consequent encroachment of our new day opening gap. I want to see that offer support. I'm going to take this breaker off because it's distracting. And I'm going to do this. That's much better. Isn't that much cleaner? It's much better. So there's consequent encroachment of your new week opening gap. I want to see if there's any sensitivity there. Take us higher. And then here's your short-term buy side, trailed buy stops. Take off that midnight opening price. Now I'm watching to see if we do trade above those buy stops. I want to see how fast can we blast through that. I'll be using that as a measurement. And then again, if we manage to get above the buy side, that first fair value gap from yesterday, okay, this is yesterday's first presentation fair value gap. I like for us to get above that, treat it as support. I'm going to take a partial here on my personal. 1 second. My bad. I just missed it. But if we trade above that high again on my personal, I'm going to take a contract off. Too much yapping. I didn't pay myself. But if we get above that first fair value gap, yesterday's first presentation fair value gap, treat it as support, I would want to see that take us up into the low of that new day opening gap. But that right there, that buy stop, that buy side liquidity pool, that's most definitely a partial. Because traders are trailing their stop losses right above that high. So you should definitely be taking something off right there. Not trade advice, but that's just how I internalize it, obviously. Taking a partial on my personal. I'm going to take another partial. Let me see. I'm going to let the rest run. So I recouped that previous loss on my personal. If I had 2 contracts on for Nasdaq, I would have taken a partial there, and the role of that partial would just to be recouping that previous loss here. So lost about 23 handles on this trade, and then so far we got about 40 handles of movement from the fair value gap breaker into the buy side. But this is paper. This, what you're seeing is a paper trading account, but I've paid myself in my personal. But again, this is not trade advice. This is just for educational purposes. Educational purposes only. Please don't sue me. On my personal, I'm going to take another partial at yesterday's first presentation fair value gap. I thought I was long 3 contracts. I was long 4 contracts. So if I can, or if we can tap that, I'll take one off. Using a market order. Yeah, that's a bread and butter setup. Breaker, some people call it the unicorn setup. Breaker, fair value gap, market structure shift above this high. So if unicorn setup is your model, there you go. Nah, 4 micros. Hopefully I'll be able to trade mini contracts on my personal by December, but I want my account size to get a little bigger. I could trade it. I'll soon be able to trade it. Hold on. I can't talk and like manage this real quick because I'm using a market order to get out of this on my personal. So once we tap the low of that, just fell short, not yet. There we go. Partial right there. And I'm going to let the rest run. And this is my favorite part about the trade right here. So I lost about 23 handles on that first trade. I'm going to brought in my water, god dang. I'm going to move my stop up about 23 handles in profit. So worst case scenario, I get stopped in profit and it's a break-even day. Or best case scenario, finish the day in the green up, what is this? That's about 80 handles. It's not bad. I want 100 though. It looks better in the YouTube title. If I can get it. ICT was tape reading, same idea. That's pretty cool. But you know the thing with that, I've been getting DMs and like comments on my channel saying, oh, like you're just copying ICT's live stream, or like people saying you're watching ICT's live stream. It's like, no, I don't. Like literally my monitor, I have my personal account. The screen that you're watching the live stream on is like, I'm not changing tabs on here. And then I have my iPad with the chat room pulled up. So it's like, I appreciate the compliment of you saying that I copied ICT, but, and there's a delay. There's like a 4 or 5 second delay. So I couldn't copy them even if I wanted to. My entries would be all late. But those are just the haters, bro. It's the ultimate compliment though. Or like my market reviews, people say you just copied ICT's market review. I'm like, I didn't even watch his video yet. Yeah, but that's just how people are, you know. Now, normally, let me get ready to pay myself right here. 1 second. Normally, I would aim for the low of that new day opening gap and call it a day, which is what I'm doing on my personal account. But just for entertainment purposes, I want to go for 100 ticks because it sounds better in the thumbnail. So don't judge me. It is what it is. So that's 100 handles right there. But definitely should be scaled out majority of your position once we tag that new day opening gap low. But I'm going for 100. 100 just sounds nice. It's a little bit more delicious. So the low of this new day opening gap is 20,093. That would be my terminus on my personal account. Plus a tick or two for spread. And then that would put me up, I think, close to $300 on the day if I get that. And then again, stop loss moved in profit. So worst case scenario, have a break-even day. And that's how you recoup a previous loss. No revenge trading. Took a loss. I say it all the time, losses in trading are normal. If you take a losing trade, as long as you manage your risk, Like, you have nothing to be fearful of. Just look for another setup. The bottom, that's a new week opening gap at the bottom. It's not a new day opening gap. I don't want to switch tabs because I'm trying to manage this. Stop loss is trailed just below this down close candle. So the low of this candle is 46.50. So trailing my stop 46.25. I want to see that first presentation fair value gap send us higher. And the small little detail here, these are always things that I look at. This candle opened, traded down, and so far we failed to reach that first fair value gap after 9:30 from yesterday. So that failure right there, if we can start to move away, then that's bullish because we didn't even have the willingness to trade back down to the high of it if we start to move away. So that small little insight, small little detail, something that I look at when I'm reading price action. Failure to reach certain levels when I'm bullish. Opening price with this down close candle, bullish order block. Trade down, we fail to reach that opening price. If and only if we start to move away, then I see that as strength. And you can expect fast, large up close candles if you fail to do something like that. All right, see you, KP. These equal highs are just way too smooth. Like, that's just way too clean. It's like a flashing neon sign. That's just like, that's just too smooth. See you, Gunna. I probably won't trade. I'm done on my personal. Asia was really nice last night, and I'll be posting that Asia full execution after this. But Asia was so nice. But I'm done, man. I've made almost 4.5% on my personal account, and I only aim for about 2.5% a week. So after this trade, if we can manage to tap the low of this new day opening gap, I'm done for the week. But we'll still paper trade in the streams just for learning, educational purposes. What's up, Unicorn Queen? Unicorn Queen, where you be living at? That's like, I'll be wondering like where you at, and then you pop in like at the same time every day. I don't know if it's your time zone, but I'm sure you're doing your own thing. Do you trade personal or funded? No, I'm personal. I'm team personal funds. So I'm going to trail my stop below this down close candle, which is also below yesterday's first fair value gap after 9:30. I'm going to do the same thing on my personal, just locking in a little bit more moolah. I'm watching consequent encroachment of this wick. I want to see that take us higher. Remember, wicks are gaps. And we also have two down close candles here. I'm watching this entire range. No Diddy. Who said something sus? Baby oil. I just love personal. It's just so much. Y'all gonna see in the trade execution in Asia that I'm gonna post in a little bit. Like, I'm still getting, because my account size is growing. So like I put on 7 micros. I don't have enough like leverage, I guess, to use one mini contract. So I was trying to put on like 8 micros, and then it got denied. So I'm like, shoot. I tried 7 micros, and then that got accepted. And I'm trying to pyramid. I'm trying to buy more, and it got denied. And then I'm trying to add like 7 micros for a sell limit for take profit. It kept getting denied. The live or the trade execution sped up, but you're gonna see me literally fighting with my broker to try to get into the trade. It's ridiculous. So I'm still getting used to all that. I'm not gonna be greedy. That would be a bad example if I didn't take low hanging profit objectives. I still like that buy side, but I don't want to be a bad example targeting 100 handles just because it sounds better. Can't lose sight of what I'm here for. Time to watch some webinars. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we had a small little volume imbalance here with the order block. These 2 down close candles is one bullish order block. We dropped down, volume imbalance. And now I want to see if we can get an expansion to the low, that new day opening gap. Take profit is just a couple of ticks off that, because a lot of times you see extreme precision at these levels. It will tap the new day opening gap to the tick, and then it will turn on the dime. So just to make sure you get a guaranteed exit, get a fill, come off of that just a few ticks. Save yourself some heartbreak, I should say. Alright, see you, Andy. Appreciate you tuning in. This was fun. This was a good learning lesson stream. Taking an L and then just being patient, sticking with your bias. I was wanting longs. I was looking for longs all morning. I just got in a little prematurely. Just keep waiting, stay patient, take a setup that makes sense, and then there you go. This was a great learning experience. This is definitely going to help somebody out on YouTube when I get this posted. I get up 100 ticks and I sell. Yeah, I mean, I leave runners like yesterday's Asia trade. Like, I had almost half of my position still on the table, got stopped in profit. So it's like, yeah, that kind of sucked. And my second take profit level just fell short by like literally 2 ticks. I went long 7 contracts, and only 4 of them got filled in my first partial. The other 3 got stopped in profit. And then once I got stopped in profit, it ran to all 3 of my targets that I outlined. But I mean, that happens. I just gave myself a pat on the back because I do want to work on leaving runners, catching more of that daily range. So if you leave runners and they get stopped out, like, don't beat yourself up. Instead, just say, hey, I may have got stopped out on my runner, but eventually, like, those are going to get hit. But you're not going to get comfortable leaving runners if you don't practice. So that's something I'm practicing, working on. Your videos improve my trading. That's what's up. I love to hear that. Love to hear it. Just a few ticks away from that low, the new day opening gap. I think we're going to expand higher than that. Bam. Come on, man. This is what we do. No revenge trading. Losses are normal. We don't trip over losing trades. Stick with your trade idea. Stick with your bias. Dollar index was looking bearish all morning. I wasn't interested in anything going short. Just wait for time and price. We talked about that London close macro, 1050 to 1110. Hey, can we spam W in the chat? I haven't seen that in a while. Can we get some dubs in the chat? Because we've been doing this for quite some time now. Yes, indeed. Dubs, 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 dubs. Like, we're getting kind of crazy with this. There we go. That's how I like the chat room to look. That's how I like to look. There we go. Yes, indeed. Okay, I appreciate y'all. But that's it. I'm done for the week on my personal. What's today? What's today? Today's only Tuesday, so we still got a lot of week left, but still paper trade just for content and educational purposes. This was fun. Hopefully I learned something. I'm going to go chat it up with the Discord. I'm going to get this Asia trade posted, and then I'm going to edit this footage right here and probably post that in a couple hours. And that's about it. Love y'all. Appreciate you tuning in, and I'll see you guys back at it tomorrow at 9:30. All right? Peace.